Better than switching heads. Okay. We had a marvelous meeting of a newly formed landscaping committee. And should I mention the names of the people?
Absolutely.
We have Dawn, we have Wendy, we have
Elaine,
and there's another gal that I just met for the first time. What was her name?
at our meeting, that was probably Elaine, and then I also attended just this one time.
Oh, you're not going to attend anymore?
I always would
I
like
doubt
to
that.
but it is in such competent hands. I don't feel a need to attend them all.
One of the members has complained for years about the way they trim the trees. I'm using the word trim loosely. Sometimes butcher the trees, all right? Mm-hmm. And some of them, they just keep cutting the lower limbs off. And even though the tree grows higher or the bush grows higher, it just looks pretty ugly underneath because they don't put anything around it. So thinning and lifting, they call it lifting, is cutting the limbs way above the ground, is reduces the chance a tree will fall down in heavy winds. Is that me making the noise?
No, we have some other callers. We have a couple of dial-in callers. Please hit *6 and mute yourself until you're ready to speak. It helps keep excess noise off the line. We have a couple of unidentified callers who are not muted. Please hit *6.
All right.
Okay, proceed, Sheila.
And you spoke at length with the Maximum Landscaping Company owner, Todd Grande, and he says, and you put in big letters, he will not overlift the limbs. He said, this is what we asked for, and this is what he will comply with, and we question that. Seeing is believing.
Okay.
There are trees called the Hong Kong trees that break easily. Elaine was upset about that in the grassy area. It has purple flowers. And there are also trees called Bishophia trees. And these trees have to be thinned. They're non-native and gorgeous, but they don't take the winds well. So we have to take into consideration, we do get quite a bit of winds here. And thank God we haven't had any hurricanes, but they can come. And I'm not going to go into the flowers because that's a whole issue. That's a whole other issue. And I think that mostly what we were upset about is what's happening with the trees. Then you're going to have the exciting part is what's going to happen in the back of the buildings this year. And let's see what happened here. I guess I got the wrong pages because we're going to have, and there was a beautiful diagram, we're going to have the hedges removed from the back of the buildings and something different, shaped differently, more to the shape of the building, with a straight line. And I forget, but I know that there's work going to be done, and I think we'll all be happy with it. Because if Cheryl's happy, we're happy.
No, that's not true at all. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Susan. I have a question.
Certainly.
All of this work, Sheila, that you're talking about, do you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Go ahead, Susan.
Okay. All of this tree work and landscaping work that you're talking about, is this included in this contract that was signed 1 year or 2 years ago? Or are we looking at extra expenses?
Nope.
That
no
aren't
extra
necessary?
Expenses. No extra expenses. In fact, we have done with the trees the work. Do you see it? Do you see a picture on your screen?
No.
Okay, I have shifted and put a picture of the work.
Yes.
Done in the back. Do you see it?
Yes, I do. I see it now.
Okay. All right. What you see here is already in the contract. It's already been negotiated. This really should not be called beautification work at this point, because what's going to happen in the back is the hedges are going to be taken out, but we have to solve a problem that has been declared a serious problem in the back by Plastridge, our insurance company. At this point in time, in addition to old hedges with whitefly infestation, we have uneven rocks, and we have people throwing tiles in the backyards and even putting in place pavers, pieces of decking in order to walk into their backyard. So the whole purpose of this improvement that I have circled here on the screen is to not only to add some aesthetic improvements, okay, but mainly to get rid of these old hedges, to put in new formations to help make it more attractive, to put in additional small palms. It won't be a straight linear hedge, but primarily to replace the rock, take care and reseat the Comcast cable boxes that you see, improve drainage, and make it so it doesn't look like a bit of a mess that we've got in back. This is a real problem area in the back, and it's one our insurance company has raised.
Okay, but is that costing extra money?
That is costing what we have already planned going forward for the last 5 years. There has been no change in price. In fact, the contract was...
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
On the next picture, I am showing what Sheila referred to. These are what the trees by the entrance will look like when they grow up. They actually have a layered look to them, and the concern that your landscaping committee has mentioned is because they don't want the lower limbs of the tree to get whacked off. Okay, and then the last landscaping improvement, which is probably about 5% of the cost, is to add some additional seed-bearing trees by the lake to draw birds. And that, I'm going to switch us back to our faces, but those were the improvements that were going to be done this year. It will start in the fall.
Can I add an extra item?
Yep.
And I mentioned to you, Todd had replaced a butterfly bush, which is on the A building beside one of the dumpster garages. And it with future butterflies.
Oh, she's great.
It's going to be, they're going to love and be beautiful butterflies in our neighborhood.
Good. I'm glad to hear we're getting more of those. Please call your directors if any plant needs to be replaced. Todd has replaced some that have died. Don't feel you have to suffer in silence. Please call your director if any plant is unhealthy or if you see a broken sprinkler. And I think with that, we can move on to the next topic. Okay, what I'm going to do is go through the financial topics. Okay, Susan, Ellen, do you have any question you wanted to ask?
You have another question, Ellen? Yes, I do. What is happening with the cypress trees that are in the front of my building that is pretty well dead?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are they going to be replaced? They're going to be removed and something else in its place? Or just that area be updated?
An excellent question. The Landscape Committee has requested that Todd not replace them if they are dead, and they are working on a solution to that problem. What should be done in its place? Either another cypress, a vine climbing flowering plant. That's up to the Landscape Committee. It is definitely something that's at the top of the list.
Vines are not good if they're climbing on the building. That's for sure. I wouldn't consider vines. They destroy buildings.
Where are you?
Absolutely. That's why the Landscape Committee exists, so that they can come up with a solution with this that'll work with it. I'm going to have them do a presentation as they figure out what to do with the Italian cypresses.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on.
I have a question.
Could you announce yourself, please? And could anyone on dial-in please mute themselves? Could you announce yourself?
Rhoda Carr.
Okay. Hi, Rhoda.
Hi. In the back of the building of my particular where my patio is, there is a tree that is hanging like half over, and it seems like they can never cut that tree down because I guess it's still alive.
Okay, so I'm going to make a note of this. It's been recorded. If what I could do is call you back or have your director, yeah, you're in my building. Yes, call you back. Let's identify that tree and see what needs to be done.